I'm Candace Boyle, team lead of Show Me Hope's crisis counseling program at Tri-County Mental Health. And I'm here today just to share a little bit with you about a really interesting kind of blog post um, that I have recently read and I just felt like was very fitting for us. So, this is about kind of how screen time shapes our kiddos. And this is based on the blog post by Dr. Natasha Berger. And she writes her website is called kckidsdoc.com. And we will post some of that below, and we'll post a link to the blog as well that she wrote. But I really loved this, so I kind of wanted to break it down. I did a previous one for adults and burnout, and so I thought today though that we would talk a little bit about kiddos because I really liked the way that this kind of has some pointers. So I just thought I would go through them pretty quickly here. Okay, so how screen time shapes our kiddos. The first thing that she kind of talks about is reversing the mantra of limiting screen time, which I love because I really wanted to start this and be like, how do we limit screen time during COVID-19? Because I know I have an 8-year-old child at home and screen time has been quite a lot. And I love that she says, let's not talk about limiting screen time. Let's change and reverse that mantra. And she says, let's actively protect human time, which I love the way that she says that. So there are definitely areas in our life that we can control that, kind of make successful human time. So we can have those checks and balances every day. So we can have daily check-ins where our kids know when their screen time is going to happen. We can make sure that our kids go to bed on time. We can maybe make sure that we have that time. Maybe it's after dinner on or from a certain time on that we know is not screen time that we're going to spend with our kiddos. We know that we can provide them 3 healthy daily meals. If we have that ability, we can spend a few moments just eye to eye with our kiddos, chatting with them about their day, preparing them for maybe what's coming next, right? We can let them definitely know that they are loved, and we can prioritize some of these kind of basic necessities. And then that screen time, she basically says, can fall into the remaining cracks of the day, which is so absolutely 100% true. So really actually thinking about that human time versus limiting screen time, which I thought was a great way to reverse that mantra. So the other thing that we can talk about is making sure that we have short breaks and that those short breaks should be screen free. So kids may be on their way back into schools, or some of them may still be virtually. And if they are virtually and they're having that screen time kind of daily, making sure that we are having when, the teachers say this is a break or this is a time to have a break, that we're asking our kids to stand up, walk around the house, go outside, feel the sun, do something that kind of breaks away from that extended kind of time looking at a screen, because that not only helps our eye health, but our mental health as well. So we definitely need breaks, and we need those breaks to be away from the screen as well. Some other things that she kind of talks about for like safety is, keeping the entertainment in a common place. So I know that in our kiddo's room, she has a TV where she has certain things that she's able to watch. But other than that, like tablet time and those types of things are done in our living room or at her desk. That is in our living room, just to keep that in a common place. So it's not only an easy monitoring tool for us, but it just also helps kind of know like what she's spending her time and how long she's spending that time kind of going to different things or different applications on her tablet, and also helping her if she needs help, especially during the school day. So the other thing is just knowing, that if the day is going to require more screen time, then set, your kiddo up with some quality options for recreational viewing and new apps that maybe flex connectivity, or help with like creativity. And I can definitely post the link that she has in her blog list, but it's called Common Sense Media. So you can go to commonsensemedia.org, and it has all sorts of great kind of apps for kiddos in there as well. So that's a really place that has like a really great list. So definitely, if they have to spend some time there thinking about what quality apps maybe they're on. So if you don't know or you're not familiar with good quality kid apps, going to that commonsensemedia.org is super helpful to understand kind of what apps are best for kiddos. So the other thing that she kind of talks about in this last little piece is learning how to transition your kiddos from screen time to non-screen time. So this is probably not something we think of very often, but I bet that you do think of often that when you're trying to break away your kiddo from the screen, they don't hear you, they're ignoring you, or when you turn that screen off, they get abruptly upset. Well, we have to understand that when kids have been on a screen for a while, especially doing something like gaming, that's like keeping them really engaged, their brain slowly kind of creeps into that digital world where they're playing. So like they literally are not on this planet, basically. So you have to understand and get a sense of why that totally freaks them out when we kind of rip that away. It's kind of like just ripping somebody out of a different planet, basically. So we have to find a way to kind of transition kids back into real life. And this is super smart. So she talks about with older kids, they may be able to do this on their own, or maybe you could provide like a 5-minute warning. So, kiddos who are maybe over the age of 14 who has some abstract thinking, you can say like, hey, you got 5 minutes left on the gaming system, and they probably can be able to keep track of that time. They understand what 5 minutes looks like. They understand how that is going to feel, and their brains can start to slowly go off. But for younger kiddos, we need to kind of approach them with some verbal context and clues to kind of pull their brain away. So we can ask them just some simple questions about what they're watching. So maybe just sit with them for 2 or 3 minutes, and start pulling their attention away. So maybe like, what was your favorite part of this game? Why were you so excited to play? It's now going to be time to transition. We're going to have about 2 or 3 minutes. You can maybe show me your favorite thing, and then we're going to go ahead and transition out of screen time. So I think that is a super smart thing to have to understand, because I would guess that most parents, probably including myself, did not fully understand the importance of that transition time, and really not just getting frustrated and saying like, get off of there, or being really frustrated when they don't hear us or they ignore us. So we really have to work with them to get them to kind of transition. So another thing is just kind of talking about safety of being on the internet. So we have to understand that mistakes are going to happen. We have to understand that the internet can have rabbit holes, and your child could click on something and click on something and click on something, and they get to a place where then they are maybe viewing something that is not age appropriate. So some questions that we can ask when this happens versus kind of attacking and being just totally freaked out is we could say like, maybe, how did you get here? We could ask like, why are you interested in learning about this? Tell me about the people maybe you're talking to. So if they're in an app that they're talking to people that we maybe are not sure they're safe. We could maybe say things like, the language is upsetting, so why are you still here? Asking that question and having an understanding if that language is inappropriate. Maybe they feel embarrassed, maybe they would feel peer pressure, those types of things. So just trying to get a better understanding. How did you learn about this site? Maybe tell me why you love this game or this application. Can I show you another place that you might look that's safer? That's a really great one. And if you want to know more about this, maybe we can sit down and have a chat. So what we know is that our screens are often our lifelines, but they also can be villainized when things are going wrong. And we have to understand that there's a lot of things that could be having kids to have stress at school or behavior change or emotional outbursts, any of those different types of things, any change you might see in your kids. And the screen may not be the number one problem, it's just maybe what we're seeing. So in fact, like those online connections may be the only place that kids are like getting a positive contact right now that they need. So we have to be able to broaden our idea and our understanding of why our kids feel like this is a place they need to turn to. So I think that was an important piece that she kind of points out is that we can't always villainize the screen. So basically, she says, bottom line, successful digital parenting requires a sense of security, comfort, and productivity that transcends our parenting experience. If you are in the life space that is disrupted and uncertain, a brief release of the screen time rules may be exactly what you need to strengthen yourself as a leader of your home and prepare for your future. On those days, trust in the digital citizenship kids have been taught, leverage their innate resiliency, and have faith that they will be all right. Then when you are able to re-engage with all aspects of your children's lives, you can do so completely. I had to read that like straight off because I absolutely love that. There is no way to shorten the bottom line of, I just think that's so perfect. So I'm going to read that one last part again. She says, on those days, trust the digital citizenship kids have been taught, leverage their innate resiliency, and have faith that they will be all right. Then when you are able to re-engage in all aspects of your children's lives, you can do so completely. So again, this is how screen time shapes your lives, and you can go to KC Kids Doc and see the blog there by Dr. Natasha. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. I just wanted to break it down for you. I hope you have an absolute wonderful day. Bye.